award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. Hey, I'm excited to be here today. We are with Matt Cameron in Region 4 at his office here. As you can see behind me, we got the general store, the Holston General Store, and we're excited to be here with Matt. But Lynne McCoy is visiting with us today, and she is a wildlife rehabilitator out of Jefferson County, and she services about 5 counties. A lot of people bring her animals to rehab, and even the UT Vet School uses her a lot, and we're excited to have her today, and she has brought some special guests. Yes. It should be fun.
Yes, I'm tickled to death to have Lynne on the show today, and I have called her my wildlife hero.
Yeah.
And I've never called anybody that in my life except for Lynne McCoy.
Oh, not hardly.
Did you know that?
It's true.
Did you know you were a hero?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
It's true, and we're going to tell you why. You're going to see why for yourself here very soon.
Yeah, so I think we should get started with a critter or two. You brought Thelma with you today.
I brought Thelma with me.
Well, let's get her out and visit with her.
Everybody's in suspense on who Thelma or what Thelma could be here.
Right.
May I put her up here for a minute while I get her
do
out?
Whatever you need to do.
So if you're listening, you got to go watch this show because we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and all kinds of places. But you've got to see the critters. You got to tune in and watch this show. But we'll try to describe for the radio audience what we're seeing here.
This is Thelma, and she's a non-releasable opossum, our only native marsupial. And come here.
Explain what a marsupial is, Lynne.
A marsupial is an animal that carries their babies in a pouch.
Okay.
And they can have up to 13 babies, and they're the size of a pinto bean when they're born. And Thelma was found by somebody that was very well-meaning, but did not know what they were doing. And she came to me with her friend Louise with metabolic bone disease.
Oh, wow.
So she was unable to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And now she's doing a whole lot better, but she's got no clue that she's an opossum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so she is officially an ambassador to let folks know close up and personal about the opossum,
Right.
which is one of our very best tick eaters that you could possibly have.
Okay. Good
They
information.
chow down on thousands of ticks. So I've got a waiting list for the baby possums that I'm raising now. And
I picked a tick off of me last night. I was working on my food plots, got home, like, what is that? So, hey, we need natural pest controllers.
You do.
Like
You do.
possums.
So how did she get her name? I want to...
Well, there were 2 of them, and I just thought, hey, Thelma and Louise, that's just perfect. And they behave very well. They do well on programs. And folks that have always thought, gee whiz, just big rats or something, just can't stand opossums. Once they've seen them close up and personal, it's a whole lot different. Now, come on here.
She's wanting to climb away and go check out some stuff here.
She's going to check out. Come here. You check out me. Come here, girl.
So she climbs on you and she just...
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm here like a slinky or something.
Can we help?
Should I grab it? Should I not?
Yeah, well, they use their tail for balance. They can't hang by the tail. That's just an old pogo cartoon thing. But they can use their tail to carry things as well.
Awesome.
So it's a 5th hand, and it also can be used like an elephant uses its trunk.
Gotcha.
Grab things?
Yeah, grab things, carry them off. They got 50 teeth, which is more than any other North American mammal.
Mouthful.
And they'll eat just about anything, including a microphone.
She's probably trying to talk to the microphone.
Well,
so
let me see if you can grab one of the treat bags down there with a banana. There we go. Let's see if that'll...
Most people carry around food for themselves or their kids. Lynne carries around food for her critters.
Oh, she's wanting the apple.
Checking it out here.
So what do you feed? What do you feed the possums?
She gets a varied diet with vegetables, fruit, and meat, and she strangles people.
She doesn't want the apple today.
She doesn't want the apple. Let me try a piece of banana.
That's all right.
Perhaps she thinks she's part monkey.
Hey, Crockett had his coonskin cap. There's nothing on me.
Lynne wears live possums on her head.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're listening to this show on the radio today or
Nope.
tuning in on
Not
iTunes,
interested.
you've got to watch this show. This is a circus right
This
here.
is the only kind of fur coat to have.
Yeah.
A live one.
Well,
That's cool.
Is it true that possums have a natural immunity to rabies?
They can get rabies, but because of their body temperature, they seldom get rabies. Any mammal can get it, but these guys are so low in chances that they're even doing studies.
What do? Do I grab her?
Yeah, just let her go on you if she wants to.
Oh, Lord. I've never held a possum in my life, dude.
There you go.
Yeah, this is different.
Up close and personal here on Tennessee Wildcast today with the possum and Miss Lynne.
Yeah, man.
You look kind of like a pirate.
Pirate. Captain Matt.
There you go.
Possum
There's a
neck.
sweet. Now that's a sweet face.
How
Look at
about
that
that?
face. That's
That's
a
what-
sweet
They got
face.
50
wanted.
teeth, though. That's all I'm thinking about right now. 50 teeth.
Well, she
Sharp.
wasn't hungry.
Oh, well, maybe she doesn't want any redneck
Yeah.
to eat right now.
She just wanted to sit with Matt. That's the
buddy.
problem.
You've
How
heard about
about that?
playing possum, and they're not really. Let's see if I can get this. They're not really bright enough to do that. They don't say danger's coming and I'm going to lie down and play
Really?
dead. They get so scared they literally faint. Blood drains from their brain. They're out cold.
No kidding.
And they'll
Really?
drool, maybe just make a nasty smell. And most self-respecting predators want to chase something down. And if they can't chase it down and it's just lying there drooling,
They're
they'll
not
go
gonna eat
off to get something else.
Wow.
Going back to Mama.
Yep,
Come on,
think so.
come on back to me, sweetheart.
Well, let's check out the young ones and let's get one of those out. Here, I'll open the cage.
Oh, there you
She
go.
has something to say. She's going to take the mic here.
Oh wow, that
There
was
you
fun.
go.
That
fun.
was
There
different.
you go. She knows when she's out of her little carry thing. Why?
It's game over, right?
It's game over.
I think it's Jason's turn to wear some wildlife here.
Now I warned you when you got critters.
You sure did.
Anything can happen.
Anything, yeah. We've seen it all right here.
Okay, well now these are
Maybe
some
not
of the
everything.
these are some of the babies that I've got, and I've got about another probably 40 at home. And as I said, she can carry 13 babies in the pouch.
Wow.
So
Do they
when-
normally give birth to that many?
Yeah,
That's not unusual.
yeah. They can give birth to 21. And the
Goodness
first 13 that get in the pouch and grab hold of a nipple are the survivors.
Yeah.
And they just suck that down, and she feeds them like an IV drip.
Really?
So
Man, I've already
this
learned
is
more
like
than I ever knew
a
about
possum
possums.
pouch.
Okay.
Okay, that's why they're happy in there, huh?
Yeah.
All snuggled up.
Yeah, there's about 6 of them in here.
Wow, that's cool. So
And
how'd you come across these? Were they brought
Mom
to
was a roadkill.
Okay.
And I've got, that's what I use my Facebook page for. I've got folks that'll stop, and if the traffic's not unbearable, they will check a possum that's been hit as long as it's not a scooper or a scraper.
Okay.
And a lot of times Mom's dead, but the babies are still alive in the pouch.
Wow.
I brought you one last summer. They were much smaller
Yeah.
than these, but exact same scenario. Now, how old are these?
These guys are probably about 5 weeks.
5 weeks old.
Yeah, come here. Come on.
They do look like mice or rodents of some sort.
And they actually run little exercise wheels like a hamster.
Look at them.
They're nocturnal. That's the little black eyes. And just about as cute as you can get.
Oh yeah. Much cuter than the mama there. The
Oh,
big
yeah.
one.
Yeah, well,
Well, hitting
you
most
know.
little things, puppies, kittens,
These guys
whatever.
are rock stars. Mom's over the hill.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure kids love it. Do you do shows for kids? And yeah,
I do a lot of programs in schools. I do a lot of church groups, Wednesday night church
Oh, yeah?
groups.
Yeah.
In fact, anybody that's interested, I try to give a program because so many
Sure.
people just don't pay attention to what's around them now.
Yes.
And if we don't pay attention, we're going to lose everything.
That's right. Yeah.
So
This makes you appreciate the
it's
possum.
critical. Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of people think they're just big rats, but they serve an important role.
They serve a
in
big
nature.
role.
Here,
Yeah.
should I take one off your
Sure.
hands?
You can have a whole handful.
It looks like I can have a whole. Okay, I got them all. All right, here we go.
You sure?
First time on Tennessee Wildcast, I'm holding a possum.
Hey,
I wasn't
and
gonna touch
even
that
look,
big one,
there's
though.
even more in there. So you can
Oh, this one's
imagine.
backing up.
When they get old enough and can self-regulate their body temperature, they'll start riding on mom's back. And when they do, they'll put themselves on each side so it balances her. And if she's got, there you go. If she's got too many, there'll be some, like maybe 6 on each side and then one riding over her head, and she's just kind of going around like Mr. Magoo trying to see. Possums have a great sense of smell, great sense of hearing, and they're absolutely terrible eyesight. They'd be wearing Coke bottle glasses.
Wow.
So...
And what's their preferred foods? I know they scavenge a lot, and that's why we see them in the roadways.
Ticks, beetles.
So a lot of insects.
Dead things, insects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pet food?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I guess
oh,
whatever
yeah.
they can get a
If
hold
you've
of,
got a cat or dog door, you're going to have a possum visiting in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. I try to feed my animals in the morning. That way, food's not left out.
All night long.
Yeah, you leave food out at
attract
night, you're going to get some kind of wild critter wanting to take advantage.
Right. So let's review some questions here. We had a lot of questions. We probably hit a lot of them just with the chaos going on here with
right out of the gate,
with
like
the
100
critters.
mile an hour.
So that's how we do it right here on Tennessee Wildcats. We go hardcore. So what do you rehab and what don't you rehab?
I'm permitted to do raptors, songbirds, small mammals, and rabies vector, which are raccoons and foxes. And the state legislature evidently just recently added skunks to the list, but I don't do skunks. They're the prime rabies carrier in Tennessee.
Okay.
And it's just, I do about 1,100 animals a year out of my home.
Wow.
So if
So
you're listening,
skunks-
don't bring skunks to Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
right.
don't. There
gonna
are
throw
some
that out
rehabbers that do skunks.
Okay.
So I'm always happy to pass out whoever does and get information out to folks.
1,100 a year. And is that an average of your entire career? Is that about how many you would do?
Oh, no.
More?
It started out maybe a dozen, half a dozen, and it's just kind of mushroomed. And then the last 5 or 6 years, it's been 800 to 1,200, right around. This year will probably be about 1,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yes, yeah, it is.
And
it's a lot it's not to get.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when did you start rehabbing wildlife?
Back in 73.
73. And what got you interested in this?
I was helping the Morristown Animal Shelter get started, and they had a screech owl down there, little bitty guy, and they couldn't get it to eat. And they called me and asked if I had any suggestions, and I asked them what they were feeding it, and they said bird seed. And I said, well, that's not going to work with a bird of prey. And so they asked if I'd take it, and I said yes. And then they said, well, will you take any other wild ones that come in? And I had a moment's stupidity and said, of course I will. And from then on. And then I got, I think Bill Tester was the officer way back then.
that's going
and
back.
he showed up at the house and he said, Lynn, if you're going to do this, we better make you legal. So he helped me get a federal permit. And then after that, the state permit. And that was pretty much it.
That was the
3
start.
decades later, here we are.
Still hanging in there.
But you haven't lost the love for it, I'm sure.
Oh, I do. It's heartbreak and a lot of work, but when you can turn an animal loose that didn't have a chance and you can see it fly off or head into the woods, it just opens your heart. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I first met Lynn in 2007 when I moved back to Jefferson County and took an animal to her. I don't remember what the first one I brought to you was, but that's when I fell in love with what she does. And it just blew my mind that she could love wildlife. And we think we love wildlife. We work for TWRA, whatever. No, she loves them. You'd have to put, 30, how many years?
Well, 73, 40-something years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, so 4 decades. So she lives with these critters and raises them and does such a great service to the agency that I can't help but brag on what she does, because we can take some small bunnies that normally would probably die, if we just turn them loose in the wild, something's going to eat them or they're going to starve to death. When we can tell that little girl, hey, these rabbits that the mother just got ran over, I can take them to a lady that's going to take care of them and turn them back loose. Makes us look like heroes.
Yeah.
Just talking about rock stars. We're the rock stars. And we're
Right.
not. We're the ones that take them to the rock star. But anyway.
Any rehabber's a rock star.
Yeah. You ain't
rehabber,
kidding. Now, speaking
yeah.
of that, now how many of you are around? There can't be
Not very
lot.
many. Not very many. There's 2 or 3 in Knoxville, one in Newport in Cocke County, Chattanooga, and probably a couple others scattered out. And a lot of them specialize. And when I started so many years ago, nobody was doing it. So I just took in everything, and it's kind of like going fishing and not knowing what you're going to catch. It's the fun's not knowing what's coming in.
Right. Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, I got some mink. I'd never had mink in all that time, and I got 3 mink that year, 3 baby mink.
In 1 year?
Yeah.
All at one time or separate?
Within a month of each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot. I'm sure you have to beef up on your mink knowledge or your,
Right,
that-
and you
that
sure have to
particular
watch
animal.
body language, because I've got some ambassadors, and when they don't want to come to a program, I don't make them. I mean, you think somebody with PMS is, you run into a great horned owl that doesn't want to. No, you just say, fine, you salute and close the cage door.
Yeah. So tell us about, did you grow up enjoying the outdoors, or were you an outdoors person before you started rehabbing?
Well, I was an only child.
Okay.
And basically I had books, and this was back in the day where you were just free to roam. So I was just turned loose in the woods.
I think that's a lot of the stories you hear
Loved
about, and at least especially in East Tennessee. It's just so an outdoors place. It's just
This
everything's
was in it.
outdoors here.
Yeah.
So much out there to see when we put down the iPhone and the iPad. And
That's the big thing. That's one
live
reason
life.
it's so important to give programs to kids and have animals there to let them realize close up and touch an animal and make that connection. Once they've made the connection, it stays with them forever.
Yeah, definitely. Tell folks how they can get a hold of you. And I don't want to miss this opportunity, but you have a Facebook page.
I've got a Facebook page.
What's the handle? How can they find
Just
you on
Lynne
Facebook?
McCoy.
Lynne McCoy. Okay.
Lynne with an E, Lynne.
E.
Lynne.
Yeah, family
McCoy.
name.
Yep, and it's Jefferson County. So if there's
Yeah.
another Lynne McCoy out there somewhere on Facebook, make sure they get the right one, right?
Oh yeah, they'll find the right one. All they got to do is hit me on the Facebook page, or just about call anybody, and they can point them to me.
So while we're going down this rabbit hole,
Sure.
Lynne.
No rabbits at the end. No baby rabbits.
No, baby rabbit. Okay. She's self-funded, and she is very humble and doesn't get out and beat and bang and ask for money. But I'm glad to ask for money for her. So if you're watching or listening to this podcast and you really want to help someone that does something awesome for wildlife, this is a great way you can spend your money. And so get you on your Facebook page, email. Somebody want to make a donation to you, what's the ways they could do that?
Gosh, I have no idea.
Contact you. Just contact you, right? Yeah.
Contact me through my Facebook page or email,
What is your
Backwoods Lynne, BACKWOODSLYNNE @AOL.com.
There you go.
Okay.
Facebook,
And I can send them my address
Yeah.
or whatever.
If we have to set you up a PayPal or something, we will.
Oh, Lordy, no.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I mean, it's got to be expensive to feed this many animals. I mean, do you have an annual budget, or you just?
I try to budget throughout the year, and most of it comes from my Social Security. So I put a certain
Spending
amount
of
of
Social Security.
aside a month,
Take care of
knowing
animals.
about what's the vaccines and the medicines and the formulas. And I figure a basic $8,000 a year. Just basic, and sometimes it's a little less, and sometimes it's a lot more.
I can imagine. And so you have you take food donations too as well.
Yeah.
Is that right? If people want to make a food donation to you, what could you use the most?
Veggies, formulas, Espellac, KMR. That's, you caught me just off guard
That's
here.
the things you need, yeah.
With the brain thinking.
Yeah.
But I usually try to make a list of what I need, and then I can pass that along if somebody's interested. I've got a group that are the groundhog fans, and they drop off a whole lot of veggies because these guys eat a third of their weight a day.
Whoa.
Wow.
And so...
We'd have to eat nonstop to even come close to eat a third of our body.
Unless you're a hummingbird.
Yeah.
3,000 calories a day for a little hummer.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're
Have you ever had
fascinating.
one of those?
Yes.
How do you
Yeah.
care for them?
Very carefully.
They're so tiny.
Well, they have to have a lot of protein too. They don't exist on that sugar water. They eat tiny insects that are down in the flowers.
Didn't know that.
So there's a special formula, Nectar Plus, you can order that's a German formula that places like Smithsonian use.
Wow.
And then you can just add little bugs and whatnot and
cool.
cross your fingers.
Yeah, I've seen little ants and things in my feeders. That's probably some protein for the.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're getting the sugar.
Yeah.
They fall prey. Well, all right. Well, while we're on this thing here with different kinds of animals, what is the strangest animal, in your opinion, you've ever taken in?
He just went to take a vulture.
Oh goodness!
So the vulture.
Does he have a name?
Steve.
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 Steve
No,
is awesome.
Let's see. I got a purple gallinule, came up on a storage truck from Florida, and that was kind of like a duck crossed with a peacock. Really weird looking critter.
Was it as loud as a peacock?
No, nothing as loud
Goodness
as
gracious.
a peacock. And I guess the mink.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then one time I got a golden eagle.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did you have it?
I got him to the Eagle Foundation the following day.
Okay.
That
What had happened to it? What's the
he'd been
story?
released from there, and because I spotted the Patagio badge, and it decided that instead of staying near the hacking tower and doing what it should do, it found somebody that had domestic chickens.
Oh.
And it was enjoying free meals.
Shopping.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah. Well, and it's really funny because in all the years I was doing it, I've had eagle calls and they've turned out to be either vultures or doves or something really not eagle. So when I went to this one and it really was an eagle, I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
Finally.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're huge.
So you have to kind of approach that very carefully, right? I mean, they could hurt you.
I have gloves that come up to here, and I have others that are Kevlar lined, and just you read body language.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you try to be smarter than the critter.
Well,
Which sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
so you mentioned that you grew up in the outdoors, but we were talking earlier. You said you like to fish.
Yeah, I love to
when
fish.
You can get out and fish. Tell a fishing story, and then I want to bring out another special guest.
Okay.
Fishing story.
Yeah.
You said you
I
enjoyed
I caught
fishing.
one, yay, baby.
Steve, the strangest creature she has
Oh,
ever dealt with, just left here.
We go out and do jug fishing, which I'd never heard of before. And I'm thinking, like, that's not very sportsmanlike. I'm thinking, just a line with jugs or something on it. But you toss out the jugs with a bait underneath, and you're in the boat, and then you watch to see if something goes under, and you rip around and go get it, and then you try to get the jug in and net the fish. And it's mostly we went after catfish, and I really enjoyed that.
You said it tasted good too, right?
Oh, yeah. Tastes good. Yes, definitely.
Well, do some of the animals, they requar meat, right?
Yeah.
So
I get...
You probably take donations for that too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I order for my birds of prey 50-pound boxes from Rodent Pro of frozen rats and mice.
Yeah. She calls them Micicles.
Micicles, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I love that.
I was thinking maybe some catfish might help you every now and again.
Well, yeah, I had a great blue heron, ack-ack, and oh boy, did we go through the fish.
Yeah,
I kept some of the little bait places in business, and then TWRA helped me a whole lot.
Yeah, with some
on that.
dead trout that they scooped up out of the raceways. We're able to recycle those things to feed ack-ack. And you talk, I mean, that thing terrifies me. It's got a beak that long and a neck that long. I mean, it looks like it would just poke your eyes out. So I kept my distance when I was around ack-ack.
Yeah.
But ack-ack is free now, correct?
Ack-ack is free. Yeah. Ack-ack took off, and not until I had a good, safe, soft release spot for her, but with all the rains and the flooding, we'd had to put it off. And so when I went in to feed her, she decided on her own it was time to go, and she just bounced off my head and took off.
Wow.
Which tells me you did an awesome job at making that bird releasable
and she knew how to
wild.
find her food, too, because she
taught
had
her.
to fish for food.
Yeah,
So.
and a tub, and she had to find them.
Yeah, that's
Right.
smart. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want them to get used to humans and needing the human for the food. They got to get it themselves.
Right. They've got to get it themselves.
And that's something I want to make clear too. Lynne is licensed through us and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to do what she does. You people that think, man, that's cool, I want to do that. It's not like you can just go out and start doing that on your own. You have to have some qualifications to do this and a lot of paperwork. And is that correct?
That's a lot of paperwork. At the end of the year, I have to send in a list of every single animal that I had, what the problem was, and what finally happened to it. And I get inspected once a year by TWRA.
Gotcha.
To make sure I'm doing things the way I ought to be doing them. And that's all rehabbers in Tennessee that go through that.
Okay.
Well, we need more of Lynne.
Oh, we need more rehabbers. We really do. The problem is, a lot of people that want to do rehab only think of like cuddling cute babies, or they don't realize that it involves cleaning cages, picking maggots out of wounds, and getting pooped on and peed on, and all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, speaking of poop and peed on,
You got to go, Jason.
I think.
Now, don't tell me we're going to have not going to have a demonstration of that.
Just in case, let's put the box up here. But I want to bring out the star of the show. Maybe we'll see how he acts. Bucket.
Okay.
Short for lard bucket.
Lard bucket.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we run out of time, I want to see this guy.
Okay, just a minute. Let me see what we can do here.
He's a groundhog.
Look at him
come
popping
here,
out of there.
Bucket.
He's ready.
Come here, Bucket.
He's ready.
Groundhog, also known as a whistle pig.
Yep.
He's smelling the broccoli, and he likes it.
There it is.
That's a win.
He's a broccoli addict.
Yeah. Thelma wasn't too interested in the treats that we brought for her today.
And what a lot of people don't realize are groundhogs are just big squirrels.
Yep.
They're a member of the squirrel family, a big rodent, primarily vegetarians, and they're furry rototillers. They turn up about, I'm thinking it's close to several tons of topsoil every year.
My goodness.
And they'll wipe out a garden in a heartbeat.
Oh,
they eat a third of their weight a day.
Yeah.
And he came to me back in April. He was born in April. And he also gets to go free.
Awesome.
When will he go free, do you think?
He has in and out privileges now.
Okay.
It's
so he'll
just
self-release.
He happened to be around when it was time to do this, so I brought him along.
Awesome.
Is it gone? Oh,
no,
there it is.
He's still got a little bit left.
He's checking things out.
That's so cool to see him up
Look at
close.
He hears
Todd
that
and Zach
music.
back here.
Yeah.
What's up here?
He's going to start
Come
dancing.
here, let me see those teeth. Come here.
Ain't no way.
Close up on those teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Groundhog's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say they could hurt you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
That's cool.
And that's the other thing that you've got to realize. Sweet as he is right now, hormones kick in. He's going to be a wild animal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I won't be doing this at all. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my distance. Lynne, we thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing the critters, and it's been fun. It's been an adventure. If you're listening to the show, make sure you go watch. This has been a cool one to take in. So, Matt, thank you for getting it all together. Thank you for
it's been awesome
co-hosting today.
Thank you.
Lynne, can't thank you enough. Thank you for what you do.
My pleasure.
If you want to help Lynne out, support her, find her on Facebook, Lynne McCoy. She's in Jefferson County. She's a wildlife rehabilitator, and she takes care of those little critters that we can't sometimes, and gets them back out there in the wild, and we thank you for that. So,
thank you.
All right, well, we'll see you next time on Tennessee Wildcast. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.